everyone. Welcome to the PowerTalk Ask the Expert. With me, I have an amazing person that I met at Bill Wash's event. And I really connected with him because his topic is really touching my heart. He will be talking about the health and the wellness. And I think that's an important topic that we talk about. And I am so glad you are here, Jeff, because people need to hear about the health and wellness. And introduce yourself and tell us about yourself.
Well, thank you so much again for having me on the show on this platform. It's great to be a part of this connection and this collaboration. My name is Jeff Cade, healthy lifestyle specialist and author of the book Battleground Cancer: Managing Your Mental, Physical, and Spiritual Well-Being for the Fight. And I've been in the hospitality industry probably for about between 15 and 20 years. And I served in different capacities, such as sales, food and beverage, dietary nutrition, and most recently within the health and wellness space. I actually co-owned a healthy franchise restaurant concept where we pretty much focused on high fiber, high protein, and low carb meals. Some of the things we should probably be doing now, right? High fiber, high protein, and low carb, and no fried foods were served. And at some point, during my career, I made a pivot. I'm pretty sure most of us have made pivots, and some could be rewarding. Some can be challenging, but pivots must be made. And so I made a pivot, and I wanted to really understand more about, nutritional content on labeling and packaging, because I think America really needs a wake-up call. And I say that to say, I think a lot of people have hit the snooze button, and we can't continue to hit the snooze button through life, especially as it relates to our health and our wellness. In fact, May is Mental Awareness Month for the audience. And so, making that pivot and understanding more about my industry and digging further from a brick and mortar business and being able to speak on this type of topic, I'm very passionate about it because, there is such a thing as ageism and it's happening all around us. So most definitely.
Absolutely. And you talked about having a restaurant that has high fiber and less fat. And I think it's really important because that people talk about it and that begin to change some of these habits that we have. I think that it's really hard now that we had COVID and we're like in lockdown. I don't know about you, maybe not you, but I know a lot of people are struggling because either we've become couch potatoes or it's that eating, like we want to be munching on things. So what would you tell our audience about that fiber and why it's so important?
Well, you hit a very important keynote there as it relates to what's happening in the past year with COVID. People have gotten anxious, and there's a lot of anxiety, and there's a lot of frustration about a lot of challenges. People have died. People have died from upper respiratory conditions as well. And so, there was a point in time, if you recall, a lot of the gyms were closed, and now some are reopening. At the same time, like a business must be run. Well, your body is a machine. It must run a certain way, and you have to have a good regimen, a routine to possibly even use your own body weight. For example, when I speak and talk about my program, I concentrate on three things, and that's diet, exercise, and mindset. Mindset being the most important. And there are a lot of things we could do, even I do, inside our home or even outside, especially depending on where you live. The weather's turning, right? I'm in the Midwest, so people on the West Coast aren't dealing necessarily with a lot of snow and changing weather conditions or patterns. But the weather's turning here in the Midwest, especially in Chicago. And so really ever since April, we've been able to go outside and run and bike, do cardio interval training and play tennis. I'm also a tennis coach, and you're getting that natural sunlight. You're getting that vitamin D. And it really comes down to choices. We all know that when we know better, we do better. And sometimes that just doesn't resonate with people. They take a different way. As you said, they munch, they snack. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with munching and snacking. It's all about really moderation. Do something in a moderate level and still understand the power of the mindset and diet and exercise. I think we're all going to come out fine. And, health and wellness is key to your longevity.
Right. And, like you talked about the 3 points: diet, mindset, and exercise. I even think that diet, it's like it's not only on what you're eating, but you need to be able to watch what you're saying, how you speak, and actually being able to take in the thoughts that are healthy for you and begin to create these habits that help you to exercise or take action towards whatever goals that you desire.
Yeah, the mindset is so important. That muscle between our ears, that subconscious is always trying to protect us. And we have to kind of break through that. And even sometimes we have to tell our mind to be quiet and just shut up. Sometimes you have to do that. And, I like to use every day some type of daily affirmations, the power of I am, because, what you focus on expands and your words have power. And I like to use, the alphabet, different letters of the alphabet. And I really, sink and close my eyes and understand that, first of all, every day I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be alive, to be healthy, healed, and whole, and be able to wake up on this side and be six inches above versus 6 inches beneath. So I like to utilize a grateful gratitude journal, because you got to have an attitude of gratitude. But those affirmations, for example, I like to say, I am able, for A, I am anointed, B, I am blessed, C, I am confident, I am chosen, the letter D, I'm delivered, and my favorite, E, is I'm exceedingly prosperous. So, it can be challenging every day because people are going through so many different things, but we have to keep a positive mindset. We all know that things happen in our everyday life, especially dealing with this global pandemic, and people are doing everything from a virtual standpoint. Kids in the background, dogs in the background, cats, birds. There's so much going on. And you still have to keep it right and tight. You got to keep it right and tight up here. And using different affirmations really are key to having that positive mindset. Definitely.
I think that what you're talking about, that mindset, is what really triggers the results, right? Because if you have a mindset that's really going to support your actions, I think that people will gain that ability to gain wellness, because wellness, to me, it's about being well in all areas of life, right? Your mindset, the physical, the spiritual, everything, right? So what would you recommend to someone who wants to make changes right now? Like, what are 3 steps that you would highly recommend that they begin taking now?
Okay. Well, first of all, I talked about the power of I am. You have to understand you have power, and your words have power. So it's all about telling yourself how you're going to start your day and have gratitude of that day, for the day, for the rest of the day. And if you don't have a gratitude journal, use a spiral notebook. That's first. In terms of the diet, I like to leave a special tip, a health and wellness tip that'll take you from the short term to the long term. I would advise anyone listening to go on their cabinets and the cupboards and look at some of the packaging and labeling on your products. And
Mm-hmm.
anything that has high fructose corn syrup, you got to throw it out. You got to get rid of it because your body will thank you in the long run. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you a story real quick. I used to really enjoy, I had a favorite auntie or aunt, and, she was very sweet and very good to me. But you know what? I realized he wasn't, she couldn't be in the house anymore. And that aunt, her name was Aunt Jemima. Aunt Jemima pancake syrup. And I'm telling you, I used to love me some Aunt Jemima, but she and the apron had to go. It was just too much high fructose corn syrup plus regular sugar. And so I just used a healthier alternative for my family, and we used log cabin, which has no high fructose corn syrup. And high
Mm-hmm.
fructose corn syrup is all it is. It's just it's a cheap substitute for sugar, and it's used in the processing and production of most products we consume. You just have to be very careful. So I like to try and use natural sources of food that's free of any toxins, chemicals, or high fructose corn syrup, especially. It may be difficult to get rid of toxins. It just depends on obviously where you're getting your food from. But I try organic. Third, it's all about really, we talked about it earlier about exercise. Studies prove that 20 to 40 minutes a day of some type of cardiovascular intense workout can really improve blood flow,
Right.
reduce calories, maybe even reduction in weight, have improved energy and focus.
Mm-hmm.
That's very important. You've got to, it's great to eat right and do right,
Mm-hmm.
um, but you got to exercise. But you can't exercise all the time and eat snacks and munch and you know don't have your fruits and vegetables. And so it's all about having that formula and really making a choice for you and eventually your family.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? There's always a decision that we make in life that turns everything around for us. And I think, I don't know, tell us, why did you make this radical decision in your life to focus on health and wellness?
Wow, great question. Because I've been in the industry so long, the hospitality industry, I received my bachelor of science in that field, and just working in different areas of that industry, like I mentioned earlier, sales and, food and beverage, restaurant operations. But, what really got me passionate, where I really made the pivot, is I lost my parents at a young age in my youth to cancer. My father passed, and 6 years later, my mother passed her. And so it was really, my father who I actually saw. His food and beverage consumption wasn't the best. And so, I truly believe, um, based on this, all the his soda intake, his ice cream intake, um, not as active as I would like him to be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I started to understand that, what, these these chemical compounds, high fructose corn syrup and other toxins can really have a major impact on your life and your longevity. And
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, I saw him pass in front of my eyes in the hospital bed. And so I think over time, really, I wanted to share my journey and understand and connect with people, because I wasn't the only person who's probably lost a loved one, a parent, to cancer. There's obesity, there's diabetes, there's heart disease out here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about making sure that you make good choices. And I'm saying he didn't make all bad choices with his food, but he also smoked cigarettes. And he didn't
Mm-hmm.
pass of lung cancer or throat cancer or stomach cancer. It was pancreatic. And so I said I wanted to connect with people and share my journey, my personal journey. And that's what really led me down the road to putting what's on my mind and in my heart on paper, and utilizing, that spirit So I need to write about this. I need to really put the work on the notepad and create a book. And that's why Battleground Cancer came about in 2019. And so it has helped a multitude of people deal with different challenges, and not just cancer, but different challenges with other diseases that family members and friends have. So that's what really kind of led me down the path, and that's why I enjoy being in this space and really impacting lives and adding value anytime I can to talk about different things as it relates to food and beverage consumption.
Mm-hmm. I think health is really important. I often say that your health is your wealth. So
That's
if
right.
you lose your health, then you're going to lose a lot of the wealth that you have in your life. It's going to affect your bank account. It's going to affect your style, your movements, everything. So I'm so glad that you were talking about this, because it hits home. As I mentioned to you, I went through cancer, and being a survivor, of how important your health is. So I'm glad you're talking about that. Like, what can you offer to clients or the audience here that's listening? Like, what can they look for you for? Like, what do you have to offer for them?
Well, pretty much, I have a program called the Ultimate Health and Happiness Program, and it's pretty much a module-based program dealing with promoting a healthier lifestyle, as well as offering tips and strategies and certain recipes for people who are engaged and want to improve their health. Also, I add in there some 20-minute accountability calls each month for the clients, because we have to inspect what we expect. And then I also include them and invite them to a private Facebook group. And so, also I have a bio from my website, battlegroundcancer.com. And with that information, with that particular landing page, people can actually utilize their email and receive a free gift as it relates to whether it's a workout program, something simple you can do with your own body weight, or a particular chapter of my book. I also like to have people connect with me at jeffcade360.com, JEFFCADE 360.com, and that's pretty much the communication hub. And they can utilize that to connect with me via social media. And once that happens and we build a relationship, I like to offer a discovery call to see if the program even fits their schedule, if it's going to be right for them, because it may not.
And, for those of you that are listening, this is the PowerTalk Ask the Expert, and I'm Dr. Angelica Benavides. I'm known as Dr. B. So I have Jeff Cade with us, and we're talking about health and wellness. So if you're just starting to watch now, or you're watching the replay, go back to the beginning and recommend it to other people that are looking to gain a better health and increase their wellness. Jeff Cade is the person to go to when it comes to health and wellness. So connect with him. In fact, ask any questions that you like here in the comments. We'll come back and look at them. And remember that taking care of you is important if you want to be able to do more for other people, right, Jeff? A lot of times people forget about taking care of themselves, Jeff. I don't know if you've noticed that with some of your clients, because we're people of service. So we're always caring for everybody else, and we tend to forget about ourselves. So what would you recommend for someone who's always on the go and it's hard to really cook? And I know you have a restaurant. So what can you tell people on that topic?
I'll say this. I co-owned a healthy concept. And when I did that, I learned more about, the nutritional labeling and content on packaging. right? But we all have 24. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, just like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett and Elon Musk and Darren Hardy and Bill Walsh, and everyone has the same 24 hours. It's really depend on how you choose to use those 24 hours. I like to talk about different doctors, right? We've all heard of Dr. Sanjay Gupta and Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz and Dr. Ian Smith and a lot of doctors, because we all have our own doctors. But you know what? Who's heard of Dr. Sergs? Serds. Dr. Serds is all around us. And we kind of mentioned some of these, but I'm going to break it down. So the S is for sunlight. Dr. S is for sunlight, getting that vitamin D. E is for exercise, 20 to 40 minutes a day. R, you got to get that rest. So Dr. R, you need that rest. You need 7-8 hours at night if you can. D, Dr. D, we talked about that. Dr. B is diet. You have to watch out on the diet. And there's so many diets out there. There's so many diets, but if we keep it really simple, it's really about just choosing natural sources of food, possibly organic if you can. And if not, just really be mindful of what you're eating, because an apple a day, keeping the doctor away, that was a saying way back in the day. And there's different apples these days, aren't there? And finally, that last S, Dr. S, has really helped your self-esteem. So, that's just free information. It's great information to utilize. And it comes down to the decisions we make as how we want to feel and our vibrancy and our energy and our vitality. All of it is so important. So I always keep Dr. Sergs in the back of my mind. I sleep with Dr. Sergs.
I like it. So S is for sunshine, E is for exercise, R is for rest, and then S was for self-esteem. Is that correct?
Yep, you forgot the D though. The D is diet.
D is diet, yeah. So he just gave you some really juicy ingredients here. And it's like when you're baking either a cake or you're cooking, you need certain ingredients in order to get what you're looking for. The same thing about your health. He just gave you some ingredients, and I'm not going to repeat them because I want you to go back and watch this. I want you to press replay and watch it at the beginning, because it will change your life. You know what I always say, Jeff? It's like when we're trying to call each other on our cell phone, right? We try to call ourselves on a cell phone. We have to be able to dial numbers in a certain sequence. If you do it out of sequence, you don't communicate to the individual that you're trying to call. And I think the same thing when it comes to your health. If you miss that little ingredient, and I think you gave us those ingredients right now, if we take it out because we're like, no, I don't like that exercise, I don't think you get the results that people are looking for, right?
That's right. It is a sequence. You kind of can't have one without the other. It is just like you said, baking a cake or baking a meal. You have to have certain ingredients, and within those ingredients, you might want to add some healthy herbs and spices. Like turmeric and black pepper and red pepper, garlic. Add some broccoli and some asparagus. I love my green vegetables. But I know there's some people that may find that boring. And again, everything's in moderation. You just have to do what's important for you. You just have to really monitor your visuals when it comes to nutrition labeling and content. It's very important, because a lot of these companies, they're marketing for our dollars, and that's just big business, right? So the FDA has, they've improved over the years by mandating certain companies to put nutritional information on their products.
Mm-hmm.
And before, that wasn't a big deal. Some companies even have to take out certain because it's deemed as chemically based or induced, and it can be an issue health-wise.
Oh,
So
wow.
we have to be careful.
Yeah.
We have to be
So
careful.
reading what's in the back of an item that we're buying, it's really important
Sure.
to read, right?
Yeah. And you know what? Most of us are not chemists or scientists, right? So we have this powerful phone that has Google on it. And you just Google some terms and it will tell you. But back in the 70s and 80s and 90s, we couldn't do that. It was
Mm-hmm.
all about the visual stimulation marketing did on the TV, what we saw, window shopping, what our friends had, what they're eating. Things have improved. Things have improved, and they will get better. But it's up to us, to really make that decision. Because
Right.
I know some people will say, and I've said it, death is inevitable, and we will leave this earth at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But I prefer not to leave this earth unhealthy or dying of a heart attack or obesity or cancer,
Right.
and we don't know when our time is. However,
Mm-hmm.
people are living longer, Dr. B. People are living longer now. They're being mindful, and they're watching what they're doing. Exercise is so not just important, but it's fun now. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always been fun to me, but it just depends on what you view as fun in terms of the exercise that you enjoy.
Right.
But
Mm-hmm.
it's important.
It's really important to exercise. And I think, since I had cancer, one of the things that they did tell me was that I needed to be careful with the consumption of estrogen. Anything that had estrogen, like tofu had estrogen. So trying not to eat those the foods or things that had estrogen. So that was one of the things. And then I owned a daycare. So one of the things that we were told and we were monitoring, like all the time we fed the children, we had to feed them 3 times a week. It had to be green vegetables. So they were looking at anything that was green because we were giving them the vitamin D and the vitamin A. And then we had to give them yellow vegetables on a daily basis because it had the vitamin C. And those were requirements from the state of Texas. So we had to indicate what we were feeding the kids on a daily basis. So that's really important when it comes to children. So imagine us as adults that we're not even eating green vegetables. And I know that when I had cancer, my vitamin level was at 12. And it was supposed to be up, at 1,200 level. And it was really, really low. So it's important that I am not a doctor. I'm a doctor in curriculum and leadership, but not a medical doctor for those of you that are listening. But we're talking based on experience and then Jeff's passion. So basically, just like you said, Jeff, being able to research and understanding what should my intake be on a daily basis, because your vitamin B's and your vitamin D's and C's are really important for the body.
Yeah, for me personally, I take a liquid multivitamin that has a lot of nutrients in it as well. And I do exercise. I do at least 4 or 5 times a week. Sometimes I can't get all of it in. But I'll tell you something that's very important when you exercise, or even the people who are non-exercisers. You have to hydrate. You have to hydrate with water all the time. I prefer alkaline water, but it's just that when you hydrate, I mean, it helps digestion purposes. It helps skin management. There's so many things as it relates to flushing the toxins out that we breathe in and eat in daily. We're breathing in toxins, we're eating toxins, and alkaline water assists with that, with our digestion. Also, drinking different types of tea. I enjoy green tea. There's also black, red tea. And as you know, tea detoxifies. It's a detoxifying agent, and it's soothing. It helps digestion as well. So there's things out there that people can utilize besides drinking soda all the time. Juice that's packed with all type of sugar. You just got to be mindful about the things that you're consuming. Very important.
So it's really important that you monitor. For those of you that are listening, connect with Jeff. He has a lot of knowledge on the health and wellness. And again, if you want to tell us where they can find you, Jeff, and before you do that, I don't know if there's a quote that you love that you would love to share. This would be the time. I think you froze.
And then I think you just froze. Okay, there we go.
It was me. Yeah.
We both were synced. We froze together.
I think we froze together. So if there's a quote that you would like to share that you really enjoy, if you could share it with us.
Oh, wow. You know what? I've always enjoyed It's Not Over Until I Win with Les Brown. My main man, Les Brown, It's Not Over Until I Win. And another is whatever the mind can believe and conceive, it will achieve.
Wow.
That's very important to me every day.
I love it.
And people can connect with me again at jeffcade360.com, jeffcade360.com. They can also go to the site if they're even interested in the book at battlegroundcancer.com. That's battlegroundcancer.com, one word. And there's something free on there for those people, even if you don't want to buy the book, you just want to maybe get a chapter or get a little bit of more information about me. But please connect with me. And we'll see even a discovery call to see if my program is good for you.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you so much. I think
you're quite welcome.
Misspelled there it is. There, jeffk360.com. I did it again. I keep putting a 0 instead of a. Let me put my glasses on. Okay, there. So for those of you that want to connect with Jeff, it's jeffk360.com. It's not correcting, but it's .com. For some reason, it keeps coming out as an O. But it might attract attention. And I just connect with him. It's all about health. Like he said, this is the mind. Is it the mindset? It's the month of mindset and wellness.
So I talk about mindset, exercise, and diet, but I was just saying May is Mental Awareness Month. And because of what is happening the past year, depression, anxiety, there's a lot of things that are affecting people mentally, and it can hurt a family. And so we just really have to check on one another. I call them mental health checks. Calling your loved ones, calling your friends, ones that you don't talk to on a regular basis, just kind of see how they're doing and reach out, because you just never know what's going on in that conversation, and it could be a hidden message that one needs to hear. And it's very important. I know we're coming out of this pandemic in certain states, specifically Illinois. They're lowering the restrictions. They're allowing people to not wear masks who are vaccinated. Certain things are going on in nationally, even globally. We just have to we have to be vigilant to stay safe and healthy. But from that mental state of mind, you don't know the signs. Sometimes it's not open, it's not visual. and it could be internal. And so, yeah, it's good to really just check up on people each and every day as we come up out of this pandemic.
Correct. And, we have internal faculties, and one of them is intuition. We're intuitive. We could feel when something is wrong and something needs to change, or when we need to change our diet or exercise. Like, we know it. So whether we do it is something different, but we know what needs to be done. So listen to your body. Your body is very, very intelligent, and it tells you what it needs. It tells you when you're thirsty. It tells you when you're hungry. So it tells you more than that. So pay attention to your body and connect with Jeff. And we're going to ask you for a big, huge favor. We want you to share, like, and comment or ask questions, because we want to be engaged with you. Because as Jeff said, we have to make mental health checks. We have to engage with each other, connect with each other. In fact, COVID did give us a gift. I always say
I think
that.
You froze.
Oh, again, am I there?
I think your screen just went black. We're having some technical difficulties.
Oh, no. Am I here or no? Can you see me?
Dr. B will be back if you can hear my voice.
Can you hear
I'm sure
me?
she'll be back shortly. But again, my name is Jeff Cade, healthy lifestyle specialist and award-winning author. I would love to connect with you guys when you have an opportunity to go to the site. For those of you who are even having health challenges, the book will help you. It's a lot of research, a lot of information in that book. That will definitely give you some educational content. Dr. B, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Can you see me now?
Yeah, you went dark for a moment.
Oh my goodness, I have no idea what's going on. But I really want to thank you, Jeff. I want to thank everybody out there for listening. And we're asking that you share, you like, and you comment. And the most important thing, I always like to invite you. This past Saturday, Jeff was with us. We had the Global Connections. And it was an amazing event where we connected with many, many entrepreneurs that shared their knowledge. And this coming Saturday, we're going to have our peer-to-peer mastermind. So we're here to invite you. It's absolutely free. You have nothing to lose. All you have to do is come with a pitch, come with a project where you want feedback, and we will give you that feedback this Saturday at 10 a.m. So come and connect with us. And thank you so much, Jeff. I'm going to put my link here too, for those that want to connect in the peer-to-peer. And then there's the book. Where can they get your book, Jeff?
They can actually go to battlegroundcancer.com. That's one word, battlegroundcancer.com, or just go to Amazon and
send
look
it
it up.
to me in the messenger, and then that way I can post it here. Hopefully it's going to let me. Yes. If you want, I can put it in the chat and it can go through all the.
Yep, I'm actually doing it. I'm actually doing it right now, and maybe you'll be able to see it.
Yes, that way we can share it. Oh, there it is. Okay. And I am going to copy and paste. For those of you that want his book, go here. There it is. And I am going to create a little banner so you could see it. There it is. So if you want his book, if you want to show it again, it's battlegroundcancer.com. Go there, and he has some free offering, and then you can get his book from there. I think it's important if you have a friend, a family member that has cancer, this would help them greatly. So Jeff, I really want to thank you for taking the time and being here, and I really appreciate you, and I appreciate the work that you're doing, because again, it's a passion. It's something that I struggle through, and I know that when you're going through these difficult times, people like you and looking for support, I think it's vital. vital. We cannot do it alone. So thank you for showing up for people that need you.
And thank you so much for inviting me and being on this platform with you. It's such a great experience. I'm glad we had a chance to connect and help serve and add value to people, because that's important as we move on through this world, because there are a lot of people that need the educational content and awareness. So thank you again. It was a great moment.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Thank you.